nothing in my suggestions. But I do have one video noted down of a YouTuber I watch pretty much everything. Not because I want to educate myself, but because I want to entertain myself. NukeSub5. I don't know if you know about this channel, but NukeSub5 is a great channel. All he does is ghost video compilation. Now, I'm a very, very skeptical cat. I do not believe that there are any kind of ghosts or spirits or supernatural beings anywhere near Earth, but I like to look at videos that might be a little bit scary or hard to explain. I like to explain them too, if I can. And yeah, I'm very skeptical, but I like the videos. They are really entertaining, even though if I don't believe that what is happening there is really something ghost or supernatural stuff. There are videos that will make you pee a little. Let's see if I pee a little. Let's check that out.
Built in 1917, the Santa Maria Inn is one of California's oldest and reportedly most haunted hotels. Guests and staff have been reporting strange activity here for decades. Objects moving on their own, unexplained voices and footsteps echoing through the halls, and doors opening and closing for no reason.
I don't know how it is with you, but those light bulb, ventilator, air sealing fan thingies, why? Why do you have an air sealing fan in the first place? If you want to circulate your air, open a fucking window. That should be enough already. Now, I understand it if it's too hot and you do that. But in that case, why don't you just... Isn't there the air conditioning for that? Or... You know, a cooling system and not only a teeny tiny bit of wind, because that wind is not gonna cool down the the full hallway. That is the scariest thing I saw so far.
Halls and doors open.
Also, everything that turns eventually gets loose. It will fall down eventually.
Opening and closing for no reason. So, Martha and her husband are staying at the Santa Maria Inn with their border collie, Oreo. They're walking down a hallway when their dog starts acting a bit strange.
Tell me he's looking at them. He was looking at them. Look, he's looking at them. He's looking at the bench. Oreo's freaking out, guys.
Okay.
There's somebody sitting there. He doesn't want to go by it.
Could just smell weird because another dog peed on it already.
It's alright, come on.
Or maybe not a dog, a bear. Oh my god.
Come on.
Nah.
That was crazy.
Yeah.
The dog Oreo freaks out and wants nothing to do with the bench in the
was
hotel's
crazy.
hallway. He jumps back, growls, and flat out refuses to go near it. But that
Yeah, it just could be that it smells weird, you know? It's the only furniture that has
That's
like
not all that
cushions
happens in-
and stuff nearby, and it seems to be an old hotel. Weird smells accumulate over time, and the dog smells pretty well.
in this video, because it's what they hear on the recording later that makes their skin crawl.
Okay, let me listen, because is this a recording of the recording?
You hear that?
What the f*** what did he say?
On playback, as Oreo is running away from the bench, a chilling disembodied voice whispers, "Come back, come back."
It's alright, come on.
Could be just someone whispering. That okay. At this point, it could be staged, or just a weird, you know. If you film something, if you record something with your smartphone, and you blow onto it a smartphone, or you breathe onto the smartphone, it could make weird noises. Not with what kind of setup I have, That's the most I can do, and I intentionally blowing it because I have a nice little pop. What is it called? Those squishy microphone thingies. But yeah, smartphone microphones are not that good at filtering weird stuff, and maybe it's that or it's staged.
Now, Martha originally recorded this video of the dog's strange reaction over 5 years ago, but she says she only recently realized that she also captured this chilling, unexplained voice calling out for their dog. Unseen attack.
A new attraction in town is sure to leave even some skeptics a little spooked. The Savannah Paranormal Museum is now open down on West Boundaries. Yikes.
The Savannah Paranormal Museum in downtown
Is now open down on West Boundaries. Yikes.
Yikes. Okay, with dolls, I say dolls are fucking creepy, first of all. Whoever owns dolls, put them away, burn them, or you are just not on the list of people I welcome into my home. The reporter's reaction is relatable. I relate to that.
The Savannah Paranormal Museum in downtown Savannah, Georgia is dedicated to the city's long haunted history and all things paranormal.
Now, I'm always very careful with allegedly paranormal areas, claiming that stuff happens on a regular basis, because they could engineer stuff. You know, there could be speakers in the wall or stuff, or heating and cooling system could be tweaked, all of that stuff in paranormal institutions like a museum or hotels even too.
The museum also houses a large collection of supposedly haunted artifacts and dolls from around the world.
What the fuck is looking into my
And
soul?
many
That is also looking
believe
into my
these
soul.
very items have actually led to the building itself being haunted.
Stop showing me stupid doors. Thank you. Of course, some of those institutions like museums will get controlled, so they don't do stuff like that. But you cannot control everything. A smartphone in a real place, you know, speakers get smaller and smaller every time. At some point, it's not distinguishable from, I don't know, a button on a shirt. Gravity at work.
But lately, activity at the museum seems to be escalating and becoming more aggressive. One morning, the museum's podcast producer, JT Timmons, is working at the front desk when something happens that terrifies him.
So he heard something coughing. Could be a rat in the wall or something else in the ceiling or whatever. And then he seemed to have some kind of reaction here in the shoulder. Like he got hit or scratched or something.
First, JT hears a cough from somewhere nearby. And he turns to look, but there's no one there. In fact, he's the only person in the building. Then something shoves him hard into the desk. He grabs his laptop and just hurries out of the museum.
Could just be a muscle, a cramp, you know? Muscle bug, I don't know how to call this in English. Sometimes I have this with my leg, it just don't stop jumping.
Just a week later, and the group is conducting a paranormal investigation inside the Savannah Paranormal Museum. What happens next is chilling.
It's dude, this is crazy.
You alright?
One
Okay.
of the paranormal investigators is slammed in the back by an unseen force, nearly knocking him to the ground. So did the Paranormal Museum capture 2 real ghost attacks on camera? You can check out their full video covering both incidents over on their YouTube channel, Haunted City Studios, and judge for yourself.
Okay, 2 people having back problems. No need to investigate any further here.
Invisible guest. A young woman named Sydney is invited to be a bridesmaid at a family wedding. She's thrilled, especially when she finds out that the bride's parents have rented a nice old Airbnb for her family to stay at all week. But her excitement fades fast, because from the moment they arrive, Sydney notices that her dog starts acting strangely at the bottom of the staircase,
Is this new to the dog?
as if something there is really disturbing him.
As I said earlier already, animals or dogs smell pretty well. It could just be a weird smell, the orange that was rotting there like a week ago, or blood. I don't know.
My dog. And when we came in, we heard.
Weird smell. It's a weird smell.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. A little bit of wind, I say. It's a wedding party, that's why there are balloons and stuff.
Great!
Some unseen force seems to suddenly pull the dog's leash upward before it falls back around the dog's neck. The clip alone is creepy enough, but if you listen closely, right before the leash seems to be yanked upward, you can hear what sounds like footsteps running up the old wooden staircase.
Why was there a woman above the door? To pull the leash up.
Sydney has no idea what could have made the dog's leash fly upward like that.
Okay, so this is the leash. If this moves, I'm literally going to run.
The stairs are a little trippy with this carpet on top of it. The texture and stuff.
There she goes again.
Of course the dog is
don't
looking
think
at the
the leash
stairs
is
all the
gonna
time.
move, but
If
she's
you always
definitely
give the dog
sensing
attention
something.
when...
Again, the dog reacts as if there is something there, but Sydney
It's like conditioning the dog to go to the stairs when you look at it. Because you give the dog attention and the dog probably likes that.
can't figure out what's going on. However, she's starting to notice a pattern. The dog only freaks out at the bottom of the stairs, never near the top.
I just found a door back here. So I don't think that it's what's on the stairs. I think it's something that's underneath. The door is locked.
Break it
Obviously,
open.
It's an Airbnb, so
It's just an Airbnb, you can destroy everything, right?
they lock a lot of the doors up.
As she looks around, she realizes that there's a locked door at the back
I'm joking, don't destroy the Airbnbs you are living in.
of the stairs. Sydney and her sister decide to investigate the strange door, and what they find is absolutely chilling.
So this is the switch. You guys can see their light is on right there. I wonder if it's...
You can push the phone below the door? What kind of gap is that?
Maybe there's something right behind
Crazy.
the door. Oh my god.
Yeah, now she's figuring out that there is nothing in there.
As Sydney pulls her phone back, someone seems to turn the doorknob and yank the door. Sydney is terrified. She thinks that maybe there is someone else in the Airbnb with them.
I sent the video to the landlord of the Airbnb asking, like, hey, is there someone else renting it out as well as us or what? Because there's a room under the stairs that we can't get into. It's locked. So I didn't know. And basically he was like, no, you guys are the only ones that are in the Airbnb right now, like booked out for the week. So
now Sydney begins to wonder if they caught something paranormal when they had the bizarre encounter at the door. They go back to record again.
It could be just something or somewhat being trapped in there.
And this is where things take a terrifying turn.
Knock knock. Who's there?
yeah. Scary. Okay. Okay, every time we've knocked before, this doorknob would turn a little bit.
Now. Nothing. Dun, dun, dun. Put the phone in there on night vision mode and then turn the light off. Okay. Oh, it's a basement. Okay. I mean, it's kinda their own fault. How'd they get the video though?
Suddenly, something yanks the phone right out of her hand. Then there's a second pull, just enough to start the phone sliding down what looks like a set of stairs on the other side of the door. And
Very
then,
slippery
weirdest
stairs.
of all, the phone seems to lift back up and point toward the door before dropping again. Sydney calls the owner and he comes over to unlock the door and retrieve her phone. But it turns out that the door doesn't exactly lead to a little room under the stairs.
Yeah, it's
it
a basement.
actually leads to a dark, creepy basement. And while it's open, Sydney notices some strange scratches on the bottom of the door. Sydney and her family have now left the old Airbnb and returned home. But just what did they encounter? Was it something supernatural? As always, you decide.
Could be just a mouse, a rat, some sort of other small animal like bats or whatever. I suspect something like that. If it wasn't just them being stupid and pushing the phone away. The phone standing up though, yeah, that probably was a rat, I guess.
Now, of course, we have t-shirts, hoodies, and coffee mugs, but we also have blankets, pillows, and long sleeves. We've even got stockings and wrapping paper. Anyway, shipping is free and be sure to order by December 10th to get delivery before Christmas. Go to nukestop5.com to shop now. Or, you know, like whenever you feel like it. Hit your...
Maybe after the video.
What was that, sir?
That's not human! That's not human!
So this next audio clip was actually
The
sent
fuck?
to me months ago, and I ignored it.
That's not human, that's not human. Well, what was it then? A deer? A fox? A wolf? A bear?
Figured it was another fake, over-the-top 911 creature encounter story. But after it kept getting sent in to me over and over, I finally decided to look into it. And it turns out this is a real 911 call. The call was made in Pender County, North Carolina on July 31st, 2021 at around 11 p.m. And Snopes.com actually confirmed it with the Pender County Sheriff's Office.
Sure.
It is maybe the weirdest 911 call I have ever heard.
Taking a peek into police workspace.
Take a listen.
That is, by the way, the stuff that police has to take on with. I think they have better stuff to do than ghost hunting. But let's hear what it is. I don't know what's coming. Maybe it's valid.
Pender County 911, what's the address of your emergency?
I'm driving on 210. I just crossed the Black River, and I thought I saw a guy standing on the side of the road bleeding.
Okay, where are you at, sir?
I'm on 210. I just crossed the Black River. I'm heading towards 53 East. I just
No idea what it is.
passed, Patriots Watch.
Okay, so you're over near Morse Creek?
Yes.
Okay. And did you saw a man standing on the side of the road?
What the?
What was that, sir?
That's not human! That's not human!
Sir, are you okay, sir?
There's something in the bed of my truck!
Okay, what's in the road?
No, it's not in the road. It's in my truck. In the bed.
There's something in the bed of your truck?
Yes, ma'am. I just turned on my bed lights for my truck, and there's something in my bed.
Oh,
Okay, sir, when you say something, what do you mean?
I
okay.
just knocked it off of the bed of my truck and went over my roof.
Okay, what was it?
Now again, this call is verified. It is a real 911 call. But obviously, that doesn't mean that everything the caller said is verified.
Okay, we don't see any pictures, which is an emergency call, kind of understandable. Could literally be anything.
According to the man, he first saw what looked like an injured person on the side of the road. And then out of nowhere, a pale humanoid figure with sunken eyes and no nose or ears
Where is that all coming from? It just said it's not human.
jumped into the bed of his truck and pressed its face right against the back glass. He says he slammed on the brakes and the thing flew over the cab, hit the road, got up, and ran into the woods. The YouTube channel Carolina Case Files actually confirmed the report with Pender County Sheriff Alan Cutler.
About 11 o'clock p.m. that evening, a call came into our 911 dispatch of an individual standing on the side of the road, and it appeared to be bleeding. Now, he stated he was traveling 55 or 60 mile an hour, so I can see how traveling at that speed in the dark, it would be difficult to exactly identify what he saw. But he stated that it looked like a human being standing there with streaks of blood coming down. It is very hard to listen to that call, to that 911 tape, without becoming somewhat unnerved.
I am somewhat unnerved.
The first time that I heard it.
But I don't think that was anything. Best case, he took some drugs and hallucinated. Worst case, it was probably some other animal. But where's the blood then on his truck? If it was bleeding and it was in his bed on the truck or whatever, I don't know exactly know what that means. Where's the blood? There should be blood anywhere. And if it was not blood, I don't know. Yeah, I don't... Not a ghost, not a supernatural stuff.
Now, obviously there's no way to verify what the man saw. But keep in mind, he stayed on the line with 911, pulled over, and actually met up with sheriff's deputies. And he wasn't arrested for making a false report or for being under the influence of anything.
Okay,
So
no drugs.
what exactly happened out there?
Some
Sheriff
sort of
Cutler says
other
people in that
animal, I
area
assume.
report strange things all the time.
For years, the residents and people out there in the Curry area near the battlefield have reported seeing things and hearing things that they couldn't exactly understand.
You can watch a full deep dive on this case over on the YouTube channel, Carolina Case Files.
Okay.
Pulled from a Dream. Nuke's Top 5 viewer Nikolai says that ever since they moved his young daughter Hannah into her own room, the nursery camera has been catching some very strange things at night. One evening as Hannah sleeps, the camera records this.
Weird stuff happening with babies is always like... If it is for clown, it feels really bad. I mean, it's not like I know what this baby is looking like in 20 years or 10.
Little Hannah's foot seems to be pulled by something. Pulled so hard that not only does the crib move, but it even shakes the camera several feet away. She wakes up screaming from the sudden jolt. Now, normally I would just dismiss a video like this as a child kicking in her sleep.
Yeah,
but again, this pull is so violent that it actually shakes part of the room.
Could still be the child just kicking. Maybe there's something below the bed that had a weird angle and then fell over. Huh? We don't know.
And her leg doesn't even seem to make contact with the bed. So it's hard to believe that a toddler could create that much force on her own. But is it supernatural? As always, you decide.
Nope.
If you see something that you think would be perfect for the top 5, email me at nukestop5@gmail.com.
I never sent something in because I never experienced anything supernatural here on Earth.
What waits in the shadows? A woman named Sarah cleans rental homes for a realtor whenever tenants move out. But there's a house that she keeps getting called back to because renters never seem to stay there for long, always breaking their leases and leaving early. The realtor has never explained why. Sarah decides to film a quick tour of the house, and she starts to realize why no one ever stays.
Esta casa se ha limpiado muchísimas veces porque rompe el contrato a la gente. Ay, no mames. Ya es noche. Estoy sola. Chingados estoy.
What is this? Doesn't seem to be anything.
No hay nada. Medio cosas a la pinche puerta. ¿Dónde está la luz acá? Chingada madre. Ahí está. Ok, ahorita les voy a enseñar. Esta es una recámara. Se está poniendo ahorita tenso.
Just turn off the light everywhere and everything is fine.
Ahorita les voy a enseñar qué es eso que se escucha.
I do understand that in some areas you want to whisper everything, because if you actually raise your voice to a normal volume, your neighbors will hear you. But still.
Hey, ¿andan acá?
Oh, she can raise her voice.
No mames. Espérenme. Iba a dejar grabando, pero la neta ya me está dando cosa.
Of course, you're scaring yourself because you're so damn careful and anxious about every single corner that is happening, that you look around.
Ay, no. Creo que voy a regresar mañana mejor.
Could be wind or gravity. Probably not wind. It wasn't cabin
First,
after
the door
all.
to the toilet opens on its own, but Sarah shrugs it off. Then a creepy voice can be heard mumbling something indistinct.
Entonces, el señor dice que ya van varias.
But again, Sarah doesn't notice. But then Sarah does notice an odd tapping sound from somewhere in the house and goes to investigate.
Se escucha el ruido para acá. No sé qué sea.
Haunted tapping house. Then it could be an animal again.
Did you see it? As Sarah goes to investigate the strange tapping sound, something in the dark bedroom seems to peek out at her and then duck back inside. But in the dark, even Sarah doesn't.
That's probably just a jacket hanging on a wall and perspective
And just
forces
to
it to be
confirm that this
gone.
is a pareidolia or just something already in the room, Earlier in this video, Sarah filmed into the same room, and there was nothing there. A few moments later, another door opens on its own, and Sarah has had about enough of the...
There was nothing in the room because, you know, look at that. The phone is not in the room yet. That's the furthest that we see. The wall probably goes up to here or something, and on the wall is a jacket hanging. Of course you don't see it if or with this perspective here. I don't believe. A few moments
later, another door opens on its own, and Sarah...
This is a little harder to explain.
Sarah has had about enough of the creepy house. She just heads for the door. But did Sarah capture a haunted house that renters...
Pretty far back. That's why you can... If the phone is here in midair, the perspective is the same towards that jacket.
Capture a haunted house that renters just won't stay in? Let me know what you think. Scary videos. This is where all the videos go that are not necessarily scary, but are just weird. Or funny. Or neither. First up, a young woman says that she was playing with a Ouija board earlier in the night.
Ooh, Ouija board, so they wanted to know.
And then as she's recording herself in her car, singing along to her favorite song, she sees a pair of glowing eyes right behind her.
I know this. I know this video already. That's just a head cushion, and there's a gap below.
Okay, never mind. Those aren't glowing eyes. That's just a headrest. Moving on. Now, if you're like me, you're loving the new series It, Welcome to Derry. And if so, you also might enjoy this.
Oh my god, it is that. Oh my god! Stay away! No! Hey, Georgie.
I never watched it, by the way.
That's a nice boat.
And finally, they say that sometimes just dealing with yourself is the scariest thing you can do.
Supposed to start recording before the green screen comes up. Supposed.
So that's all for...
But either this is rage bait or they never had a phone in their hand before.
This week, thank you so much for...
I love this scream, by the way. You hear the panic. You hear the panic.
So that's all for this week. Thank you so much for watching, and hopefully I'll see you back here next time.
Yeah, you will. That was a pleasure. That was a pleasure. Thank you, Nukes Top 5, for lightening my day. Check them out.